this button. 28.4 yards, Daddy.
Okay, let's do a video. So the sights on this are way off lately. They've probably been bouncing around.
I was looking at.
You hear that thud? So, boys, listen to this bow and listen to the sound when I release, okay? So be very quiet and listen. Let's see what happens. See how noisy that is? This is noisy. It's an old bow, old Martin Panther, and it's killed a lot of animals.
What?
You can ask my dad. He shot a lot of elk with these.
Really?
Gave me this bow a long time ago. Put some odds and ends on it. It was probably better when he had it with more primitive stuff on there, but killed a lot of elk with it. I can't imagine how. It's difficult to shoot this 30 yards. Might get some video. I'm going to try to get some video of about 60 yards, and this thing has an arc. It's just unreal compared to my Hoyt carbon spider. So let's shoot that now and see the difference. Okay, so the Lucy is the target, and she hasn't been shot in a while. It's really difficult to get my the arrows out. So I've gone with this. I'm told this will work a little bit better. See, it's got that ridge on there. It's supposed to be easier to remove from a target, but I've never shot her with it. So it was an ordeal to get the old, if they're just straight, they're just flush, right? It doesn't make a big enough hole. So they just go in, it's the same size as the diameter as the shaft. So now these have a little bit bigger diameter. See if I can give you a better look at that. A little bit bigger diameter around the end there than the shaft. So ideally, or I guess the concept is to get the hole that it's making slightly larger than the shaft, so it makes it easier to take out. Okay.
See the horse back there? That's 360.
And the boys are playing with the rangefinder, so if you guys could back up a little bit, we're gonna keep a safe range.
The horse back there with drinking on it is 360. That's great.
It's definitely a quieter shot. This bow's got all the modern conveniences. It's a few years old, but you know, it's a lot more quiet, and it doesn't matter as much because this arrow gets there right now. So we'll try to time these videos together and see how long it takes to get from here to there. We're just at 30 yards, so it's not that far. So let's see. Poor Lucy. And of course I'm shooting. Thank you, buddy. We're gonna get the boys to shoot here in just a minute. But of course I'm shooting Lucy with in the wrong spot. If you've ever turkey hunted before, they put these targets on the turkey, kind of center mass right through the breast. It's definitely not the spot to shoot a turkey. In my experience, base of the neck. Through the back is ideal. So you hit that spinal cord and have a shot at that heart, which is this big. And if you don't know, it's right behind the wishbone. Directly behind it. It's a very small target, very hard to hit. But if you shoot through the back at the base of the neck, you've got a couple vital areas to hit. You're gonna separate that neck, you're gonna hit that spine, even if you're high or low from the heart, as long as you're left or right is good. And if you're not, and you got some good broadheads, you're gonna slice that neck open so good that she's gonna go down. So I say she, because hens are a lot better eating. If you're out there killing toms and saying wild turkey's gross, you're right. Quit killing those big toms. Kill those hens. They're tasty. So we got a decent group going on down there, and that's really what I'm looking for. I shot with the kids a little while ago, but I noticed I was a little off. But thought I'd get some practice in today. We'll let the boys shoot. We'll see if we can get the girls back on. See how we can do. So I'll stop talking and do some shooting. We're gonna shoot at, I don't know if we've done 20, 30, 40 and I'm going to take it out. I think I've got 80 yards here. I'm going to give that a shot. We're just going to do them right in a row. So let's see how the groups work out on Lucy down there. Whoa, see that? That's not good. That's some amateur stuff right there. Yeah. That flinching's not good. So I've got 4 arrows down there. I think that's good. Let's go check it out. It's not necessarily how sharp it is, it's how fast it's going. All right, so check it out. We're gonna see if they pull easier than they did before. Not at all. These don't pull at all. So we're gonna get these out of the way. This one, I'm gonna give that to my handyman here.
Handyman. Handyman Caleb.
So this was only in that far. That's the first bow, the Panther Martin there. So it's only about a 4-inch penetration. Let's see what the Hoyt's doing. So, you know, about 6 inches on her. I don't know, let's measure that. Maybe 8 inches on there. So, pretty good.
It can't be close to 12 inches.
Deep. Here, let's check this one. I'll put my hand right at it. I wasn't doing that before. Okay, so there's your penetration right there. Yeah, that's pretty good. I don't have a measuring tape out here, but we'll give that a shot. Okay.
Ready?
Quentin, could you grab these guys behind us? So I missed 3 times with the Martin in the beginning because, like I said, the sights were off, but I just aimed right and hit the next ones. So let's go give it a shot.
Pointy. We're back.
All right, 40 yards.
43 yards.
40. Well, you're standing back there, and she doesn't reflect very well. You got to hit the target next to her. I got a hole here, so I am going to back up a little bit. Maybe a little more than 40 yards, but that's all right. Got this dip I don't want to stand in.
You look so far, but then we can do it wrong.
Not bad.
Hit it.
Hitting a little left. Could be me.
It's going to hit a little right.
Never done archery before. There's a lot of things you got to do. I'll try to get some pictures here, but real quick, you've got a peep sight you're looking through here, and you're going to line up with this orange ring here, and it's just like a gun. You're going to line the back up with the front, so the black ring should just overtake the orange ring here, and you need to make sure that's absolutely centered in the peep sight. And then you put your pin on. In this case, I'm set up at 20, 30, and 40 yards here. And then you can watch your level and make sure you're level left to right. With all that being said, your grip on your forehand needs to be loose. And let the tension of the bow hold it. If your grip's tight, when you release, your arm's gonna move. So you can't do that. And then on the back, your D-ring, which is kind of cheating from primitive, so certainly not primitive, you have this as a release. And when you pull that trigger, it's instant on that release. It doesn't actually take a lot of force. So the important thing is that nothing on your body moves except for your trigger finger. And then of course, when you draw back, you want to find an anchor point on your face to put your thumb or your hand, that it's the same every time. So the draw length is the same, always. A lot to think about in a short amount of time to make a decision. In this case, we have a known range. When you're hunting, you don't necessarily have a known range. So you got to use your best judgment. So it's good to always practice. It's good to always practice judging a range and then shooting it with your rangefinder to see how accurate you are. Let's give it a shot. Practice is the most important thing. It really is. I don't think it's like riding a bike. You know, knowing what to do and doing it, you know, is a couple different things. And it may be that I'm getting old and my eyes are getting bad. See, those are mistakes. But don't take the shot if it isn't right. You know, reset, relax. And that, it's counterintuitive when you draw 70, actually this set it, yeah, this is set at 70 pounds. When you draw 70 pounds back, counterintuitive to say, be relaxed, because it's a lot of weight. And it's got a big let off, really only holding about 40 pounds, but still a lot of weight to hold. And maintain a target and a good sight picture. Today I'm struggling. I'm gonna blame it on old age and eyesight. Nah, it's lack of practice. It's been a long time. Although I will say, the faster you shoot, the more likely you are to hit that target. The longer you hold, the more you shake, and the more you second guess. So picking up your sight picture, having that good muscle memory, knowing where to do it, how to move your hands and face and everything else, and letting it fly. Right now, that's working. Okay, so that was 6 arrows, a little more than I wanted to do. Let's go get them. We'll have to check this on the camera, but that's the penetration at 40 yards. Here we are, 60 yards. Let's see what we can do. That looked high. How's that one?
You hit right through her back.
Woo!
And you missed one too.
Well, I missed a bunch. Well, that's called Kentucky windage. Have somebody spot for you and shoot, draw it in, but it doesn't work when you're turkey hunting. So I don't know if you can see this, but basically I was doing a little Kentucky windage because I really wasn't sure about which pin I was using. So I was just drawing it down lower and lower. I picked the other pin so you can see how it went, you know, how it came down, just, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I was able to dial these in here. So hard to see from that angle, but pretty much just shot right over her back. For some reason, Quentin wants to be on camera today.
Thanks.
This is 74 yards. That's all the room I got. I'm gonna give it a shot. All right, rule number 1, when you draw these back, air drawing like this, or a skyline draw, and you pull up like this and draw like that. If you do release, you're going to launch that arrow at your neighbor's house or somewhere you don't want it. You won't find it. Arrows are expensive, or you're going to hit something you weren't planning on it. It's really important to draw straight, flat. It's really important to keep your finger off the trigger, which I haven't been. So let's do this. Give this a shot. I usually put my finger behind the trigger, so it's pushing it forward, if anything, and then draw. Then place your finger on your trigger when you're ready.
That time you had your hand on the trigger a lot.
I'm gonna poke you with a stick.
Like the whole time.
Well, not when I drew though.
No, yeah, but not when you drew, but then...
But that's, okay, so let's clarify. It is important when you're drawing not to have your finger on the trigger. When you're ready to fire, well, once it's drawn, you can put your finger on the trigger.
Oh, okay, but you said no putting your hand on the trigger at all. When you told me.
It's like playing cards with my brother's kids. I'm getting some hits, but I think we're hitting left, possibly low. So let's see if we can draw this up a little bit. Pick the other pin. I think I had it on the wrong pin. That wasn't a hit. Practice. Practice, boys and girls, practice. Okay, same scenario like I talked about. Practice, even remembering how you set your pins up is important. If you can see that. But pretty much looks like I'm hitting left a little bit. If you get the right angle from where we were, you can just see the arrows as they come down right across the back, her back, and then finally dropped them in down here. So a little disappointing, but you know, it's been about a year since I've shot, so just have to get it out a little more often and shoot a little more often and see if we can do better.